is what you need to know now. A trade war and a war of words. The U.S. imposes 50% tariffs on $20 billion of Canadian goods. The Treasury Department launches new sanctions on Iran and what the U.S. calls economic D-Day. And wildfire emergency out west, inside the blaze that's already scorched over 15,000 acres near Reno, Nevada. I'm Rachel Scott from ABC News. It is Monday, August 24th, and here's the big story. A trade war escalates between the U.S. and Canada after talks collapse in the 11th hour. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney says his country is at war with the United States.
You're at war when you get attacked. We got attacked.
President Trump is imposing 50% tariffs on about $20 billion of Canadian goods, including booze, furniture, building supplies, and yes, even hockey sticks. The president writing on social media that Canada wants the benefits of being a state without actually being one. Canada firing right back, saying the White House changed the deal at the very last minute and that President Trump cannot be trusted.
President Trump is the type of person that would steal your lunch money the first day. He'd steal the toque off your head the second day, and the third day he'd steal your running shoes.
Canada says it will impose its own 50% tariff on American goods starting on September 8th. And from a trade war to an economic war, the Trump administration imposing what it calls economic D-Day, a new set of sanctions it promises are the toughest in U.S. history. James is tracking all the details.
Hi, Rachel. Yeah, economic D-Day. That's what the Trump administration is calling a new set of sanctions against Iran. They're promising they'll be the toughest in history. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent has said the goal is to, quote, sever every economic lifeline until Tehran stands alone. Now, Iran has responded. They're saying that if the economic war continues, quote, not a single drop of oil will be exported through the Strait of Hormuz. So despite the rhetoric and the ongoing US blockade on Iranian ports, we're now approaching 6 months since the US and Israel launched their attacks on Iran, and there is still no sign of a resolution.
Nearly 100,000 people are forced to evacuate because of a wildfire emergency north of Reno. The blaze stretching over 15,000 acres and growing. Melissa Adon has a closer look from Nevada.
Rachel, there are nearly 100,000 people under evacuation warnings or orders, and we are along US 395. This is a major highway here in Nevada. It is closed off after one point this weekend. The wildfire here, known as the Hawk Fire, jumped the highway. At this point, the Hawk Fire has scorched more than 15,000 acres. It is 0% contained, and it has injured 6 people, including 3 firefighters. Now, the fire started Saturday afternoon. It is fueled by dry and windy conditions, and it has reportedly destroyed and damaged homes. Officials say that the Hawk Fire may have been purposely set, and an investigation is underway. Today, schools in the area are closed, and the governor declaring a state of emergency. The National Guard has been enacted here, and it is going to take some time, officials say, for them to assess all of the damage.
Hayden Panettiere, estranged mother, is speaking exclusively to ABC News. Leslie Vogel says she felt numb when she learned her daughter died just days before her 37th birthday. Vogel managed her daughter's childhood career, but the two grew apart, and she confirms they were no longer in contact. Still, she says she understood the pain that Hayden was going through.
She got older, then it wasn't my voice anymore. I wasn't in charge of her choices. I tried to give her the best advice I could. But again, you know, any young person, teen, they want to be liberated. And I get that. I did get that.
Authorities say there's no sign of foul play in her death. Vogel says she wants her daughter's on and off again boyfriend, Brian Hickerson, held accountable. He was at the apartment when she died and in 2021 pleaded no contest to felony charges alleging that he abused her. Hickerson, through his lawyer, has denied any wrongdoing in her death. You can see more of that interview with Leslie Vogel on Good Morning America, streaming on Disney+. Nearly 3 million Tesla cars have been recalled in China over concerns the door handles are hard to locate and open in cases of an emergency. Tesla says in a statement it's recalling some Model 3, Y, S, and X cars because the handles are, quote, difficult to identify and operate because their color is similar to the interior. The company also says it will place warning labels on the recalled cars and issue a software update to automatically lower the windows after a collision. And a royal return, but for how long? A source tells ABC News Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have not yet decided how long they will stay in the UK once they move back. The source does add that both Harry and Meghan do plan to stay in the UK for a, quote, extended period of time. The planned return comes 6 years after after they stepped away from their royal and working titles and moved to California. Now to some quick hits, other big stories that we're following here on ABC News. The former Illinois sheriff's deputy who shot and killed Sonya Massey in her home has died. Sean Grayson was serving a 20-year prison sentence for her murder. Grayson had been living with stage 4 cancer. He was 32 years old. California's Attorney General has reportedly scrapped talks with Paramount over the company's planned $110 billion takeover of Warner Brothers Discovery. In a statement to the New York Times, Attorney General Rob Bonta accused Paramount of leaking information from a Friday meeting between the two sides, leading to the cancellation. No new settlement meetings are scheduled, with a federal antitrust trial set for March of next year. And they said, "I do," but will they plead not guilty? The daredevil couple, who had a unique proposal after they climbed to the top of the Empire State Building in July, are due back in court today, facing a string of charges, including reckless endangerment, burglary, and criminal mischief. They recently said whatever happens, they'll accept the consequences, which could include 7 years in prison if they are convicted. And finally, before you go, hair today, gone tomorrow. Norwegian soccer star Erling Haaland is buzzing the luscious locks that helped make him famous. The 26-year-old keeping his new do literally under wraps, arriving in a hat ahead of his club's opening match yesterday. The shocking reveal on the pitch clearly brought his team some luck, helping them come back from behind to grab a 2-1 win. And that's what you need to know. For breaking news and live updates throughout the day, check out ABC News, streaming on Disney+. New episodes daily on Disney+.